territory extends all the way out to the lands of Hull, so you very much should be pleased to see me here today. So, what am I doing? What am I here to talk about? As you can see, my companion here, Sir Stephen, is stood there like a lemon, ready to get some armour on. Now, you can see, the first thing that we start with is leg armour. Down here, these are known as a pair of chausses. They cover all the way from the top of the leg down to the tip of the toe. They offer very realistic protection against a sword blow. Any damage done to your legs in a fight is going to A, hurt, and B, stop you from moving properly. As I was talking about earlier in the Mythbusters, one of the most important things to be doing in a fight is moving. So we don't want to stop moving now, do we? You'll notice the second thing that he's wearing is a padded gambeson. This isn't a t-shirt, it's not a nice coat to wear in cold weather, it is a thickly padded garment made with many, many layers of linen and wool, perhaps even some sheepskin thrown in there. They are very thick, they offer some very realistic protection. Now you might think, oh, why is he wearing a duvet? I thought he was going to be wearing actual armour. So the next garment to wear is an army cap to cover your head, because you don't want your hair to be ripped out by the next thing we're putting on. The very next thing to put on is chain mail, or not chain mail. The word mail itself means chain. Why would I call something chain? It doesn't make any sense, does it? Chain mail is a term coined by the Victorians. As we, the Normans, would call it, mail or a mail shirt. Again, it's a very heavily armoured garment. The variety of mail shirts that Stephen is wearing is known as a halberd. It's a very funny word, don't worry too much about how to spell it. More importantly, it refers to the length of the sleeves and the length of the skirts. Now, I'm not talking about the skirt that you might wear out in the town on a Friday night. The skirts that start at the waist and go all the way down to the knee. You'll notice that puts multiple layers of armour around the waist and down to the knee. That's because, what do we have in our legs, folks? Muscles, veins, and arteries. These three things are all very, very important to A, keeping alive, and B, moving. Again, two things very important on the battlefield. The mail shirt extends all the way up to the top of his shoulders, up over his head. The section to protect the head is known as a coif. The coif, as you can see, has a ventail across the front. This is to protect his throat and his mouth. It doesn't just stop him from speaking, which at times can be helpful if you like the person or not, but it makes sure that someone, if they come and stab you in the throat, there is extra protection there. As you can see again, down to the end of his fingertips, thick padded gloves as well. These make sure that just as much as his legs, his arms are protected. Each part of the mail shirt is connected to the body. Now, one thing I mentioned about mail is it is flexible. This does mean, however, that you can't have it be skin tight, otherwise you'd be stood there like a lemon again and you can't move. I'm going to keep repeating myself. Movement is very important in a battle. You can't stand still, you have to be able to move. So, around the wrists, often around the arms, perhaps the elbows, all the way down the backs of the legs. Stephen, you can just turn around for a second for me. Yeah, just 1 second. You will see leather is being used to hold the excess in place. about to be cinched into the belt. The excess is there, again, so as you move, the armour itself moves with you. But at the same time, you don't want it flopping around all over the place as you move. You want it held tight to the body, then as you step, the armour moves to let you step, but then doesn't start swinging around and going all over the place. The coif goes on top of an arming cap. The arming cap again is a similar garment to a gambeson, but it goes on your head. Now, one thing we know about in the modern times is called CTE. Does anybody know what this is? It is a brain injury. If someone hits you in the head, they might hit your skin, but more importantly, they might hurt your squishy brain. You've got a skull in the way, but if your head gets rattled around, your brain bounces off the inside. It is very important to keep your brain safe. So we don't want it rattling around. The arming cap is used to add an extra layer of padding and cushioning and protection in between the coif and your skull. Some people might not think this is very important, but if you look at American football players, the armour that they all wear, it's actually not just for show. The big, thick, padded, chunky helmets, similar to the ones that we have, are very specifically designed to stop CTE. So, one of the next things you'll see Sir Stephen be put on with is this linen garment here. Isn't it nice? Isn't it pretty? Yeah. Does anyone like the colours? Well, one of the most important things, as I said previously, on the battlefield is identifying who a person is. If they are worth a lot of money, or if they are a friend to you, you want to know if you want to hit them, take them prisoner, or protect them, keep them safe. The surcoat is very important in doing so, just as much as the heraldry on the front of the shield. Now, one of the last things to be put on is the helmet. This is a very thick steel helmet. It offers very realistic protection for the person wearing it. When you combine it with the coif, with the arming cap, yes, it does get awfully hot inside. As I'm sure on a day like this, you will be pleased to hear. It's a little bit like having your head inside an oven. But importantly, if I were to turn around and hit Stephen in the head, it would make sure that his brain doesn't rattle around. Or worse, I cut his head clean off. Next, around Stephen's waist, there is a sword belt being tied. This is a very simple thing. It stops your sword from being on the floor. I don't always want to have my sword in my hand, so it's a very quick place. Tuck it in my waist. It stops the blade from cutting anything, because this is a very thick wooden cord scabbard. And then, as a knight or a lord, it is my right to hold a sword wherever I am. A mercenary, a paid soldier perhaps, will have a sword with them and they'll take it into battle with them. I might sit and wear mine at the dinner table because I am a knight. It immediately lets everybody in the area know, watch out, this guy's important, or at least I think I am. So, the next thing you can see is a shield. Yet again, this is another thing that's there for protection. There is no point throwing away your shield at the start of a fight, like I said earlier. You've seen it so many times in Hollywood. The shield is the first line of protection from the enemy. As my companions over there with bows will tell you, one of the best ways to kill someone is to be very, very far away and you shoot them with a bow. The shield is perfect for hiding behind. Now you might think, oh, you're wearing all the armour, you don't need to. Oh, yes, you do. Bows are very powerful. They can penetrate armour perhaps even penetrate a shield at the right angle. You need to keep your shield with you. Again, two reasons. One to protect you, and the second one so I know who you are. Now, we are about to have a fight. As you can see, I am not very well armoured. I'm only wearing a tunic right now, so I wouldn't last very long in the fight. That's why I'm about to ask for some extra members of our society to join us. If you give us 2 minutes, we'll make ourselves ready, and then we'll be back. Thank you very much.